video right here is titled Power of Thoughts. This video right here is in direct correspondence to one of the previous videos I made titled Global Rulership and Frequency Manipulation. Now, assuming that you watched that video, then you'll know, and I'm making an auto correction on myself now. Alpha state of the brain is from 8 megahertz to 13 megahertz, and the beta state of the brain, which is the worst state of the brain, is from 13 megahertz to 40 megahertz frequency. Now, assuming that you watched that video, you should be caught up in understanding, and have an understanding on what it is I'm going into. Now, the average person on the planet Earth lives within an alpha or beta frequency. So now, why is it important? This weakens your thought power. Now, let me give you an example. Thoughts are electromagnetic signals emitted by the cosmos, downloaded into the brain, and interpreted by the brain, and used by the mind in order to manifest physical reality. So now, why is it important? When we're dealing with God on a cosmic level, God is the highest extent of the mind, which uses elements and matter to express itself. So when people say, oh, you ain't never seen God, yeah, that's because you ain't never seen your mind. Your mind controls the physical realm. Now, you have different vibratory states, okay? So now, first we got to break this down. The mind is the primary controller of all reality, period. Now, the original language, which you hear me say a million times, I'm going to say it again now, was telepathy, okay? Before people were speaking English or whatever other vocalized language you want to use, they were speaking telepathy. This is why the ancestors used ideograms or pictographs to convey messages, because they put their mental intent into a picture, and that picture told the story and delivered the information that their mind was trying to convey. AKA, that's why it's called an ideograph. Now, why is it important? When we're dealing with thoughts and the power of your thoughts, speaking, even you speaking, is like your backup generator. So it's like when your house lose power and then your backup generator come in, your vocal cords is your backup generator. The 6th chakra and the 7th chakra is our primary means of existence. But we don't live in these chakras, because assuming that you watched my last video, you'll understand why. So now, assuming that you watching that video, I'm continuing on here. We don't live in those chakras, the majority of us, because of the European's fictional matrix and economic system that he's created. So a lot of us live in our lower selves. So now it's harder for us to communicate in our original state, because we no longer exist in our original state, not just within our own selves, but our environments as well does not reflect this. So now, even when you eat food, we were originally able to perform what's called human photosynthesis. Now we can no longer do that, because mentally our body, the megahertz frequency of our brain is not powerful enough to generate the electrical voltage through our nervous systems and our neurological systems in the body that we need to digest photonic energy from the sun. So now we have to use a middleman to get the photons from the sun, which is food. So now, why is this important? Your thoughts are the most powerful things that you have. Not a gun, not a missile, not none of that. If you watch the movie Lucy, at the end, when she turned black, they show you that she's turning into melanin. Now, why is this important? Because neuromelanin, Lucy at the end of her video, hooked up to the cosmos, and they literally had that goddamn white woman turn into neuromelanin at the end of the video. She turned into a liquidized melanated computer that hooked up directly to the universe. They put it right in your face. Now, why is this important? Only people who produce neuromelanin is African people. Now, why is this important? Because neuromelanin, keyword neural, contains neurons, which actually help your thoughts to exit your head through what is called dipole antennas and connect directly with the cosmos. So now this is what allows us to manifest our reality. So this is what allows us to draw things into our life. How many times you've been in the car and you say, man, I'm about to get pulled over, and you get pulled over? How many times you have a thought, you say, damn, I'm thinking about such and such, and then they call your phone? This is not by coincidence. You are tapping in to your omnipresent God self. Now, why is it important? The reason that the European creates fictitious things and distractions is to keep you from your God self. Your thoughts are so powerful that you can literally regenerate your own body. This is, if you study microbiology and neuroscience, as well as quantum enigma and quantum physics, this is scientifically confirmed. Your cells in your body respond to your thoughts. So, if you have a negative thought about yourself, if you say I'm ugly, you will literally genetically rearrange your structure to configure how it is you think you look. If you cut yourself and you say this is going to heal, your body will immediately begin to heal and produce the reconstructed physical composition of your body in the quality to which you think you will do it. So with that being said, your body literally responds to what you think. This is how powerful your thoughts are. So now why is it important? You can no longer allow yourself to be mentally hijacked. We are being mentally hijacked on a global scale. The average person has 70,000 thoughts per day. Now why is it important? Because only 10% of them thoughts are consciously manifested by you. The other 90% are manifested by your subconscious. Now your subconscious is like a bowl of water. It's pure and it doesn't become diluted until things become placed into it. Now if you watch my last video, as I stated, global rulership and frequency manipulation, you'll see I broke down how the Caucasian has created economic systems which causes everybody to live in the delta and alpha states. So why is it important? In these states, your neuromelanin and the dipple antennas can barely connect with the cosmos in order to receive divine information through sunlight, because you get your information from the sun. So now your mind, your brain, becomes in its backup generator mode. Just like I said, you can't use telepathy at this point in time, so you use your vocal cords. You can't use human photosynthesis, so you use food. So now if you can't draw divine intelligence from the sun because you're always in the house or in somewhere with a roof, or you're always distracted because you got to go to work, or you're always on one of these social media sites, then your brain has to draw thoughts or information from somewhere else. And this somewhere else is what we call the media and white supremacy. So this is why white supremacy is so deadly, because Europeans understand it. They are hijacking the mental frequency and psychology of African people. Now why is it important? Because 85% of Caucasians have calcified pineal glands. The pineal gland is the head of the nervous system, which helps produce the neuromelanin. So we create reality. So now the Caucasian is giving us the reality to create. Why is church so powerful? Because black people believe in Jesus. We give it life. Why is Islam so powerful? Because black people believe in Allah. We give it life. Why is hip hop and music so powerful? Because we like it. We give it life. So we got to understand that when it comes to your thoughts, out of the 70,000 thoughts approximately that you have a day, 10% of that is consciously manifested by you, and the 90% of that is manifested by what has been embedded in your mind. So if you're a black if you believe you're African American and you believe Christopher Columbus discovered America and Jesus is real and Santa Claus is real and all of the other bullshit white people tell you and everything you see on CNN, you are constantly manifesting a reality that's comfortable and suitable for the Caucasian. Now why else is this important? Because when you go to build for yourself, you won't build according to nature, because mentally you're not connected to nature, for one. For two, you won't build according to your black African self, because mentally you have no mental connection with Africa. You're going to build according to the European. See, once again, God is the highest extent of the mind, which uses elements and matter to express itself. Now, the elements and matter are nothing more than the inventory. It's like the paint and the paintbrush. Your mind is the artist. So now if your mind or your thoughts are constantly being surrounded by tools, aka if your mind is the artist and the paint and the paintbrush that you have are colors of the enemy, you're gonna constantly keep painting pictures or portraits that are in favor of the enemy. So now let me give you an example. You say right now, I want a nice car. 9 times out of 10 the car you're thinking of is made by a European. So even for you to have something nice, you have to give your energy to the European and help boost him in his wicked economy and help uphold white supremacy in an automotive state. If you say, I want to get a degree and teach history, you have to go to school and learn the European's history and come teach it to African people. And in order for you to be a world-renowned historian, you have to be teaching lies across the planet Earth. So now why is it important? In order for you to manifest your reality, you have been hijacked mentally by the Caucasian. So now in order for you to draw and create and construct a reality that you want, by default, due to the environment he has created, you would have to uplift him and uphold him in some type of way. Even for you to get married, you want a wedding dress? Caucasian made it. You want a nice outfit? Robin jeans, Gucci, Burberry, all Caucasian. So, music industry producers, all Caucasian. Everything you do is being given to you by the Caucasian. So now we got to understand the power of our thoughts, family. Your thoughts are the number one source of energy that you have, and you must be able to rechannel them internally. See, the point of America versus the ancestors is our ancestors taught us to channel everything internally. I'm God. I'm my own reliable source. If I'm hungry, I'm going to plan my own food. It was about independence. The Caucasian took our infrastructure of spiritual energy and taught us to not only be no longer independent, but to be dependent, but go from an internal channeling source to become external channelers. So now instead of us being God, we pray to a God. Now instead of us relying on ourselves for food, we allow the Caucasian to control our natural resources, and we rely on him for food. Instead of us learning how to build our own houses, we allow him to build us projects, and we just pay him rent to live somewhere where we could have built it ourselves on our own land. So now your thoughts have been reversed, family. We no longer internally channel what we think. We now externally channel and output everything that we think. And this has to change. When we're speaking about reconstructing reality, family, and go back and watch my video, Global Rulership and Frequency Manipulation. Watch that video, then watch this video. It'll all correspond. When we're speaking about reconstructing reality, first we have to control the environment and reconstruct a positive environment so that our thoughts work naturally in this environment. And then for two, we have to be able to channel and believe back into ourselves and defeat all idols. Anything outside of you that you depend on, you are a slave to. Period. Being a slave is not about wearing raggedy clothes and being enslaved and shackled in chains. Being a slave is about being dependent to something or someone outside of you. If you feel like you need something in order to get somewhere, you are a slave to that need. Period. Now it's okay to understand that you must interact or correspond with certain things in order to get a certain outcome. Like you must obtain water in order to keep the body hydrated. That's a fact. But if you feel like you need the European to provide you this water, now you're a slave to him, because you don't need him for water. You're supposed to be living in a world that's free, where you can go get water out the river anytime you want. So if you feel like you need to go to the store just to get water, you're enslaved. You're a slave to the person who owns that store, because the store shouldn't exist in the first place. So now we getting back to the power of thoughts, family. You got to understand that we must start using our minds to reconstruct what it is we want. We must start first thinking into fruition what it is we wish to construct in reality, and then knocking down anything in the environment that is the reason that we can't construct that reality. So the power of our thoughts are very, 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 very powerful, family. Everything in this world started off as a thought. What you wearing? Somebody thought of it. This camera I'm holding, somebody thought of it. Somebody thought of you. Your name, everything. Everything is a thought. See, the universe works like the cosmos is like a master painter, and everything is just artwork. So when you think about thought and connecting to the grid in the unified field, which I'm finna do a video on next, when you're dealing with nature, think about how many different plants and trees and vegetables, all the different colors, all the different shades of different colors, the different textures, the different elements, the different fabrics, the different physical compositions, the different sizes, heights, weights of everything that exists, the different bone structures of all the animals. Some have scales, some has feathers, some has monkeys look close to Caucasians, you can say, or humans, you can say. Snakes have no arms or legs, have internal strength, use the designs on reptiles and snakes, the designs on turtles. All of this was thought of by somebody. This ain't by no goddamn accident. And your mind connects to this. So this is God. This is the highest chamber of your mind that you're not being allowed to access because you can't go to the delta state. So this is the all-seeing eye that's closed off to you because you're in the alpha and the beta frequency. So with that being said, family, you have to understand the power of your thought. What you eat, what you drink, how you meditate, what you do, the colors you surround yourself by are all supposed to be in caterance to amplifying the megahertz frequency of your brain, your thoughts. So your brain is supposed to be being nurtured into a high-powered computer so that you can digest information from the cosmos as powerfully and accurately as possible. So with that being said, family, this video right here is in correspondence to the global rulership and frequency manipulation video, so we can deal directly with the thoughts and how powerful the thoughts are. Each thought, see, thoughts can be physically measured. This is a fact. Each thought is like a grain of sand, but one grain of sand is not about nothing. A beach full of sand will crush you. So whatever we put our thoughts into, we actually give life to, family. So we have to start putting our thoughts back into us. If black people cared about themselves as much as we care about everybody else, if we cared about ourselves just as much as we cared about getting our hair and nails done and buying Jordans alone, we wouldn't have no goddamn problems. Let alone about Jesus, Allah, the Easter Bunny, Hillary Clinton, Donald Trump, all of this bullshit. If we just internally channel our frequency on a mental level, we would have no problems. We would be able to have a new world in 24 hours. So we gotta stop the distractions, family. That's why they got all these distractions. That's what the cell phones, all of this shit is, to keep your thoughts from being internally channeled towards you. So with that being said, family, we have to get back to our original states. We have to get back to it. There's no ifs, ands, or buts. So with that being said, family, watch my first video. Watch this video. They go hand in hand. And now I'm coming with a fire video about the unified field, photons, and the dimensional shift and correspondence to our DNA and the reconstruction of us atomically on a melanated and carbonized level. So with that being said, family, these videos right here is to push you into the new age of ascension that we're going into. So all three of these videos are going to be very relevant. So we dealt with how the Caucasian has enslaved the planet Earth on a mental frequency and why we can't create a new reality. We dealt with the power of thoughts and how they're being reversed as far as or in regards to their energetic flow. Now we're going to deal with what is the unified field, how are all things manifested in a part of the unified field, and how is this unified field coming in contact with another piece of electromagnetic energy in the cosmos, and this is causing the ripple effect of the fourth dimension to go into the fifth dimension, and how a certain frequency that you may hold may cause you to be destroyed or either ascend during this ripple effect. So that's the next video, family, and I'm getting ready to start on that now. So pay attention to all three of these videos because they all correspond. Once again, global rulership and frequency manipulation, this video right here, and the next one I'm finna put up, I don't know if I'm gonna call it unified field, but it'll be something of that nature. So look out for it, family. And all three of these videos correspond. They're very important because the time is now, and it's finna get real on this motherfucking planet. This is not a game. So that.